Hello and welcome to Cracked Open with Coach Kristen. I'm Coach Kristen Fuller. It is my honor to help guide you from what is keeping you stuck into the life where everything is possible. We do that here by talking openly and in a safe space about past trauma, grief, pain, addiction, and recovery. And we turn all of that into living a life that you never wish to escape from. So thank you for joining me. Well, my lighting isn't optimal because I'm traveling. So we're going to do the best with what we have. And the result of that is a little bit limited in the lighting department, and that's okay because what I'm lacking in lighting, I have an A+ for in background because it's absolutely gorgeous here in Napa, California. So, with all of that being said, I would be remiss if I didn't share this analogy with you because when I heard it yesterday, all the light bulbs flashed, like light bulb moment after light bulb moment. I'm going to back it up. Before I tell you the analogy, I'll share with you why it was so impactful to me. The reason why I was so drawn to this when I heard it was because I have been obsessed with waterfalls or flowing water or streams or brooks or fountains for a very long time. I remember as a little girl, my grandmother, who I adored and spent hours upon all of my free time as a little girl was spent pretty much next to my grandma on her swing. And she had a little girl fountain, cement fountain, that was pouring water from a watering can into a flower. And now I have that fountain on my balcony because it was passed down to me. So from a young age, that flowing water, that sound, the feeling of just, it's like medicine to me. It's like good medicine to my soul, to my heart. When I'm near a brook or a creek or a fountain or a waterfall. Yesterday, I was listening to a meditation, and the woman leading the meditation spoke about our desires that we are not seeking or actualizing or healing or moving toward by means of healing. Those desires become clogged, like dammed. So if I look back at a water fountain or a waterfall, Yosemite, California is one of my all-time favorite places in the world because of how many waterfalls are in such a short proximity. So it's extremely easy for me to picture a waterfall just flowing. Now, if I picture that same waterfall dammed, what happens to all that water? It gets built up and built up and built up and built up, and it kind of starts to spill over. But the pressure is so great, is so much that dam, when it does finally go over, it's going to be an explosion. It's not going to be controlled, right? And that is what is happening when we are letting everything around us keep us from pursuing our goals and our dreams, keep us from pursuing the best version of ourselves. I worked with a client a little bit earlier, and they are struggling with sobriety. Many of my clients are. That is what I guide people through with past experience. I have been sober from alcohol, cocaine, other drugs for almost 5 years now. And what I know to be true is that when you know your relationship with drugs or alcohol is problematic, and yet you can't quite get past your waterfall being dammed, those drugs and alcohol are causing like death by 1,000 paper cuts. At the very least, at the most, they're causing massive consequences: hospital stays, DUIs, divorce. Like, there are a multitude of consequences that come as a result of not leaning toward what we most desire, dream, wish for. So now, if I backtrack back 5 years ago, before I entered recovery and started helping others do the same, was I had a goal, desire, dream, wish to be a writer. I had a goal, desire, dream, wish to be a therapist. I had a goal, desire, dream, wish to be a good mother. I had a goal, desire, dream, wish to get my degree in psychology. And what was happening was drugs and alcohol were that dam. So here's my waterfall just flowing and flowing and flowing. Here's the water for your waterfall, Kristen. Grab it. And I was in so much pain and needed so much healing, alchemizing, transforming, that I was building up a dam with every single day that I drank 3 bottles of wine and did copious amounts of drugs. I don't know what you can say and what you can't say on YouTube, so we're just going to go with that. Kind of covers all the bases, which is kind of what I was dealing with at the end. So they were all, I heard the saying today, a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. A Band-Aid on a bullet wound. The drugs and alcohol were my Band-Aid on a bullet wound. And all they were doing is building up that dam. And the water that was meant for me, for my life, for the next 50 years and on, was stopped against that dam. And not only was it stopped against that dam, it was building up, building up, building up, building up, to the point where I was unaliving myself by installment. In other words, every day I was taking action toward not being on this side of the grass. Whether knowingly, unknowingly, or just plain didn't care, my actions were not that of someone with a flowing waterfall. They were actions that of someone with a stagnant waterfall, with the moss growing everywhere, choking off my supply of water. Imagine if Vernal Falls in Yosemite was dammed. What would happen to all that water? That is exactly what is happening, my love, to you when you are letting your Band-Aids be what you use to mend your bullet wounds. Do they work? Until they don't. Are they effective? Temporarily, sure. Until blood starts to seep out the bottom and you have to change it. You have to get a new Band-Aid. And in the meantime, you're running out of resources. So here's what I want to leave with you tonight. You've been thinking about making a change. And you know it would mean giving up your band-aids. And this may have to do with alcohol, or it may have to do with people pleasing. It may have to do with sex or porn. It may have to do with arguing with people on social media. All of these are band-aids on a bullet wound. All of these are rocks in your dam, preventing the flow of water that is meant for you. Do you have to give up all of your band-aids to get your waterfall to flow? No, not all at once, but it certainly does help. It certainly does help. I've been on this journey 4.5 years. I've added to my dam and I've taken away from my dam. It's almost an ongoing journey. There is no, I made it, I'm right where I need to be. There is always continual growth, learning, growing, trying new things. I'm doing things now that if you told me even just a year ago, I would be doing on a daily basis, I would say, you're nuts. But I tried them on, and they're helping change the way that I show up in the world. They're helping direct my flow of water. That flow of water, you guys, that is your life's juiciness. And when it is blocked up or dammed, so is your ability to ground. When that waterfall is dammed, so is your ability to see creative solutions and opportunities, because that water is just getting higher and higher and higher. Like if you think of at the end of Star Wars. Okay, Titanic would have been a way better example, but we're going to go Star Wars because I'm already on a roll from talking about when I was a little girl at my grandma's. So if we go to the end of Star Wars, maybe it's the middle. I don't know. I haven't seen it in like 30 years, but I know there's a scene where they're all in the water in the trash compactor and the walls are closing in. That is what is happening when you do not give voice to your dreams, wishes, desires, your waterfall. What's in your waterfall that you're ignoring? What's keeping your waterfall from flowing? I'll use myself as a recent example. I went through some horrific crap at the beginning of the year. And worry about finances, identity theft, a massive scam that I was sucked into was damming my waterfall. I couldn't create content. I didn't have the resources or the wherewithal hardly to show up in the world. And it was really a struggle to try to not resort to old dirty band-aids, overspending, overeating, not paying attention, not being mindful, doom scrolling. Yes, I'm a coach and I'm a human. It is human nature to go searching for a quick fix, a band-aid for that bullet wound, which ends up being a rock toward your dam. Set down the band-aids. They don't work. Not for long. And the result of learning what does work for you, what lights you up, what makes you feel like you want to sink your teeth into it. Do that as often as possible. This is not like a workout regimen where I'm like, yeah, make sure you move your body 5 times a day. This is a soul workout. Okay? This is for your soul. Are you giving yourself time to breathe? Are you giving yourself time to dream? Are you giving yourself time to flow? And what this looks like for me, moving every day, no excuses. Doesn't matter if it's 30 minutes or 3 hours. I move every single day in some way, shape, or form. Dancing, yoga, walking, hiking, jumping jacks. There is no excuse when what you want to do is something that is meant for you. I'm going to say that one more time. When you want to do something you're in alignment with, something that is meant for you, there are no excuses. So if you find yourself making excuses all the time, that's because you're struggling with cognitive dissonance, i.e., I'm stuck in the middle and I can't make a decision. Make a decision. You know in your heart what you desire. And you know in your heart if the life you're living is in alignment with those desires. And you know that there are always creative, beautiful, interesting solutions to any and every problem. There is a solution. But you can't see it if you're stuck behind a dam and your water's flowing all crazy cattywampus because there's rocks in front of where it's supposed to go. You deserve your full flow. You deserve to set down, flick off, brush away what is no longer serving you. And the magic of that isn't found in the bottom of a bottle of wine. The magic in that isn't found 2 hours into a doom scroll. The magic of that is found in stillness, in gratitude, in movement. Living bodies want to move. When plants grow new growths, leaves, I have like 19 plants in my house. And when I see a little leaf starting to spiral up, it fills me with such joy. And when I dance and I move, I let my body go in spirals because that's living things want and need to move. Just like the water, just like the waterfalls. So as a journal prompt, I offer for you to ask yourself, what is blocking my waterfall? Or if you like the Band-Aid analogy better, borrow that one. What Band-Aid is covering my bullet wound? Or what bullet wound do I have that I'm covering with dirty Band-Aids? And then let's start to work on it, because guess what? Once you identify that, your next step is a catalyst toward change. But it starts with acknowledgement. The beginning of all change begins with acknowledgement. And I want to offer on top of that acknowledgement and self-compassion. Love yourself through this exploration of what is blocking your waterfall. If you feel comfortable messaging me, what is blocking your waterfall? I would love to hear that. If you feel like this analogy spoke to you and you want to leave a comment below, I would be so grateful to know that, because it had a big impact on me. I'm really spending some time thinking over the next couple of nights and days, what is blocking my waterfall? Or when I feel blocked, what can I do? And we will go more into those things. What can we do to help open up our waterfall? That's the juiciest part. Not what do we have to let go of or get rid of. What do we get to look forward to enjoying more of? That's where the magic is. Yeah. All right. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this, what you think of the analogy, and what you are willing to not let block your waterfall. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye for now.